Smackdown just wrapped up, and this is real talk. We kicked off with the Bianca hometown promo. Who cares? Next up, we had JC Mateo versus R-Truth. JC looked strong. I thought he could have looked stronger. I thought it would be maybe a 2-minute squash match. R-Truth hung in there for about 5-6 minutes, I think. Ended up going for an attitude adjustment. Couldn't hold the big man up. Gets hit with the Four of the Islands. Unpopular opinion, what a terrible move. It doesn't look devastating at all, in my opinion. Next, we had Zelina Vega and Albi Fire. Who cares? Both women worked hard, but the match lacked direction. It seems like we've been doing Zelina and Alba and Chelsea Green shtick for about a month and a half now, almost 2 months. Another match, repetitive. At this point, Chelsea Green should have retained the U.S. title. She never should have lost it to Zelina if the storyline is going to end up being Chelsea winning it back. Then we had Los Garzas picking up a win over Ray Phoenix and Javon Evans. Javon Evans from NXT, very talented. He's only 20 years old, high flying, a lot of big moments. The action was fast paced, athletic, no real stakes. Los Garza has talent, no doubt, but without a concrete storyline, these wins feel like they're happening in a vacuum. Naomi's triple threat win over Nia Jax and Jade Cargill was the highlight of the night, for sure. Awesome match. It seemed like Nia was actually dominating most of the match and ended up getting rolled up on. It was physical, chaotic. Naomi coming out on top felt earned. She's been putting in excellent work as a heel, looks poised to be the women's Money in the Bank favorite, definitely winning the Money in the Bank. It's predictable, yes, but it's absolutely deserved. Speaking of Money in the Bank, it's going to be Naomi and it's going to be Seth. It's write it down in stone. Real kayfabe is calling it. It's really obvious. However, Seth winning at Money in the Bank is also the correct call. Andrade secured his spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match after a strong triple threat showing against Carmelo Hayes and Jacob Fatu. The match had urgency, high spots, and a finish that gave Andrade a momentum boost with the odd interference of Solo Sikoa coming to the apron to tell Fatu to hit another moonsault. Really odd there. I see what they were trying to do. Andrade couldn't win clean. Also, Jacob Fatu could no way in hell take a pin. Wrestling doesn't always make sense. I see what they were trying to do, and it worked out for what it had to do. The best moment in the match would be, I think Fatu had Andrade and Carmelo lined up against the wall, and he misses and goes through, and I thought that was going to take him out of the match, but he was actually in position to win before the interference from Solo. Very entertaining match. Actually thought Fatu was going to win this. So a little surprising that they gave it to Andrade, but this has got to push forward the turn of Jacob Fatu to a babyface going against Solo Sikoa. Then came a curveball. Damian Priest set his sights on Jacob Fatu for the U.S. title, and it's a bit surprising considering Priest is fresh off a shocking, to me, feud win over Drew McIntyre. Many expected him to eye a world title, and if this is WWE's way of elevating the US title, it might work. But it's not going to put over Damian Priest because Jacob Fatu is so over with the fans. So either they're going to have to turn Damian heel. His character, in my opinion, is just not working. This gangster persona is coming off as fake to me. He doesn't get any pop. No way in hell should he have beaten McIntyre in a feud. I thought that made it 1-1 in straight up matches, and they would continue into Money in the Bank and possibly SummerSlam. They're claiming that this feud is over, so that would mean Damian Priest won the feud over Drew McIntyre, which is absolutely bizarre. And with that, he is going to put his sights on the U.S. title. Absolutely mind numbing. The Wyatt Six struck again, ambushing multiple tag teams, Faxion, Street Profits, DIY, Motor City Machine Guns. The attack was violent, chaotic, very on brand for the group. The presentation was solid, but the key now is for follow through. Are they going to disappear for another 6 months? Don't let them fade into spooky background noise. Actually push them, do something with them. I don't know what that's going to be, but let it be something. Finally, we close with the main event segment featuring John Cena, Logan Paul, Cody Rhodes, and Jey Uso. Cody and Jay laid out the challenge for Money in the Bank. Cena revealed Logan Paul was also there. The confrontation ended in a brawl, but the pacing felt off. Cena barely spoke. Jay yeeted for an eternity. I think he yeeted longer than Cena had on the mic, longer than his cameo period. I'm going to call it a cameo. He came out at 9:53, so he had 7 minutes before the end of the show. I think we yeeted for 5. So we had almost as much yeet as we had Cena, which is disappointing because that's one of his final, what is it, 19 appearances, whatever number it is. A very anticlimactic end to an otherwise solid SmackDown. SmackDown had uneven pacing, but the foundational pieces for Money in the Bank are falling into place. Naomi's push is real. Andrade's building steam. The tag division is in total chaos. It's not perfect, but it's progressing. And that's real talk.